Welcome to this specialized training module on Cloudera governance. Today, we will focus exclusively on Ranger auditing, understanding who accessed your data when, and how is the cornerstone of any secure data platform. We will explore the architecture, configuration, and practical usage of Ranger's auditing capabilities within CDP. Let's start with the fundamental question: what is Ranger auditing? In the Cloudera Data Platform, Apache Ranger is not just about permissions, it is also the central nervous system for visibility. Ranger auditing captures every attempt to access your data resources, whether that's a SQL query in Hive, a file read in HDFS, or a message consumption in Kafka. It records crucial details: the user identity, the specific resource access, the timestamp, and crucially, whether the access was granted or denied. This capability is essential for compliance audits and forensic security investigations. This flow illustrates the interception process. A user request enters a service like Hive or Kafka. The Ranger service plugin embedded in that component intercepts the request to enforce policy. It determines the access result allowed or denied. Regardless of the outcome, the plugin asynchronously sends the access details to the audit store, ensuring visibility without blocking the main execution path. How does this work under the hood? Ranger does not rely on a centralized gateway for every check. Instead, it uses lightweight plugins embedded directly inside the services running inside the Hive Server 2 JVM or the Kafka broker process. These plugins enforce policies locally for speed and generate audit events. To avoid slowing down your queries, these events are buffered and transmitted asynchronously. In CDP, these logs typically flow to two destinations: an Apache Solr collection for fast, interactive search in the UI, and cloud object storage for long-term, cost-effective retention. Here we see the aggregation model. Multiple plugins from services like Hive, Kafka, and HDFS push events to an intermediate buffer or spool. From there, the data forks. One path goes to the Solr collection for real-time indexing and UI display, while the other path goes to cloud storage like S3 or ATLS for durable, long-term archiving. Before you can see audits, you must configure where they go. When registering a CDP environment, you define a log storage location. Crucially, you must assign a specific identity, the Ranger audit role that has permission to write to this bucket. This segregation ensures that the compute nodes can write logs, but cannot tamper with them later. Internally, CDP manages a Solr collection named Ranger Audits, which pulls from these logs to populate the Ranger admin UI, giving you a searchable history of access events. This diagram tracks the configuration flow. You start with the environment config, where you associate the Ranger audit role. This role authorizes the system to write to the cloud storage bucket. The infrastructure Solr instance then ingests data from this bucket, or directly from the spool, to index it. Finally, the Ranger admin UI queries Solr to display the logs to the administrator. Once configured, how do you use it? You access the audit logs through the Ranger Service Manager by clicking the Audit tab. This interface is powerful. You can filter down to a specific user to see everything they did yesterday, or filter by a specific Hive table to see who tried to access it. The logs provide deep context, not just access denied, but exactly which policy denied it, the IP address of the requester, and the precise time. You can also check the Plugins tab here to verify that your service agents are healthy and sending heartbeats. This visual represents the structure of a single audit event. It contains the timestamp, the user identity, and the service involved. It details the resource target and the binary access result. Crucially, it links back to the specific policy ID that triggered the decision and records the client IP for forensic tracing. Standard Ranger plugins audit SQL queries, but what if a user tries to read a file directly from S3? This is where RAZ, the Ranger Authorization Service, comes in. Without RAZ, direct cloud access is invisible to Ranger. With RAZ enabled in your environment, these requests are intercepted. RAZ checks permissions and, importantly, generates an audit log for the attempt. This unifies your governance strategy, ensuring that whether a user queries a table via Beeline or tries to download the underlying Parquet file, the action is logged in the same central repository. This flow shows the unified auditing path. A user action splits based on access method. An SQL query goes through the Hive plugin. A direct S3 request goes through the RAZ interceptor. Crucially, both paths converge at the Ranger audit node, ensuring a single source of truth for all data access events, regardless of the entry point. For automation and integration, you don't have to rely on the UI. Ranger exposes a rich REST API. You can query endpoints like /service/metrics/ to get JSON data describing your security posture. This includes high-level counters like resource access count, broken down by service telling you, for example, exactly how many Kafka access attempts occurred in the last hour. Security teams often use this API to pull audit stats into external SIEM tools or custom compliance dashboards to monitor the health of the security environment programmatically. The sequence is simple but powerful. The client or SIEM system sends a GET request to the Ranger API metrics endpoint. Ranger replies with a JSON response. The notes highlight the data payload, specific counts of access attempts for services like Hive and Kafka, allowing for automated trend analysis. Finally, what if audits are missing? First, verify your cloud permissions. Does the Ranger audit role actually have write access to the S3 bucket? Second, check Solr. You can use curl commands from a gateway node to query the Ranger audits collection directly if num.docs isn't increasing, indexing is broken. Third, double-check Cloudera Manager to ensure the audit checkbox is actually selected for the specific service plugin. Lastly, if you recently upgraded or migrated, check the migration logs for errors in policy transfer that might be blocking audit generation. This troubleshooting tree starts with the symptom, missing audits. First, check permissions. If the IAM role is bad, fix the bucket policy. If the role is okay, move to check Solr. If the index is empty, investigate Solr logs. If the index is active, move to check config in Cloudera Manager to ensure the audit feature is actually enabled.
Welcome to quicktechie.com. So just type in quicktechie.com here. Then you can go through the material which is provided by quicktechie. So we have first of all video courses which you can go here and you can find the various video courses across the technologies as well as finance domain. So if you see in Microsoft, we have 8 programs currently running. Next, you can go through the ebooks available. So all the ebooks which are in PDF format today, and you can download this. So let me go through Microsoft certification ebooks. You can click on any of this and you can see this is the PDF available for you to download. So these are the premium ebook mostly available on quicktechie.com platform only. Now the second part is exam simulator. As we primarily focus on the all technology companies and finance domain certification preparation material, so this is company wide listed here and you can go through this. So let me go through the Microsoft one again. You can see these are all Microsoft related certification. AB 730 exam, if you open it, so you can see here this, and all the practice papers are available here. Today we have a 5 practice paper. So click on the first practice paper, it would load the questions. You can answer this question. This is way you can answer it and you can move to the next question. Now the third material we wanted to highlight is an audiobook. So we started recently with the audiobooks as well, which you can listen on the go, and various technology wise ebooks are available. And at the last, this is our alumni. These people who are subscribing to our courses and this platform, they are all listed here. And at the end, I wanted to tell you, if you find any course or training or certification preparation material which you want to get us prepare for yourself, please put on the comment section. If you're watching on YouTube, on Udemy, or on this platform itself, quicktechie.com, then please put the comment, or you can even send an email to using this contact us options here. You can directly do the WhatsApp message. You can call us on this numbers as well.